Hi everybody. In this video, we will learn how to create a bridge chart. Bridge charts, often called waterfall charts, are very popular graphic tools that are frequently used in corporate presentations. A bridge chart normally shows how an initial value is affected by a series of intermediate positive or negative values. In earlier versions of Excel, bridge charts were not native to Microsoft Excel, which complicated their creation. People were passing templates. Some large firms had their own add-ins, allowing the creation of bridge charts. Today, the situation is much simpler because bridge charts have been added to Excel, and it is quite easy to create such a visualization. In the sheet Bridge Chart, we have a ready-made bridge chart, which will be the final output of our exercise. Let's take a look at it. The chart shows us 2017 EBITDA. And then, through intermediate steps, change in revenues, change in variable costs, and change in OPEX, it explains what influenced the different value for EBITDA in 2018. Revenues were higher by 0.3 million in 2018. Variable costs were higher in 2018 as well, which has a negative impact of 0.2 million on EBITDA. Operating expenses were lower, though, as we can see a positive impact of plus 1 million. And we arrive at the 2018 value for EBITDA, 5.3 million. Now that we have seen what it represents and have a better idea about the logic behind it, let's build our bridge chart from scratch. First of all, we need our starting value, the intermediate values which drive the change, and the final value. In our case, these will be the same as in the chart which is ready. EBITDA for FY17, change in revenues, change in variable costs, change in OPEX, and EBITDA for FY18. EBITDA for FY17 is something we have. We can just go to the P&L sheet and link. Okay. The change for each of the intermediate steps is something that we need to calculate. For each of the steps, we have to go to the P&L sheet and take the difference between the value for 2018 and the value for 2017. Please note that the operation is done in the same way for revenues and costs. I'll go ahead and take the difference for each of the intermediate steps. After we have carried out this operation for the 3 intermediate steps, the data source for our bridge chart is ready. I'll link to the value of EBITDA for 2018 in order to facilitate the check. It is always good to make a check and see whether the sum of the value, which we have after considering the initial value and all the intermediate steps, is the same as the final one. Our check shows that the numbers are okay, and we can go ahead. It is super easy to create bridge charts in Excel. All you need to do is select the data, open the Insert tab, and create a waterfall chart. However, what we have here isn't a ready bridge chart. In order to completely obtain the desired form of the chart, I'll need to select its last value, 5.3. Right-click on it and set it as the total. See? Very well. When you set the last values as the total, please make sure that it is the only column you've selected, because with the first click, we select the entire series. Now, let's change the colors of positive and negative changes. Generally speaking, it is a good practice to have the same color for all of the positive changes, and another for all of the negative changes. Here, I'll pick green for the positive changes, and bright red for the negative. I'll take another second to color our 2 endpoints in dark blue. Also, given that we used consistent coloring for increases and decreases, we can delete the legend that we have above the bridge chart. Now let's do all of our familiar formatting, which we saw in the examples before. Let's remove the fill and the border color of the chart. Let's select it and change its font to Arial and 8. This is better, right? Let's give a half-page format to our chart by modifying its dimensions in a way that becomes similar to the example chart. I'll need to reduce the height and enlarge its width. Let's add a title to our axis in order to clarify the currency and the amounts that we are using. We have to go to Chart Tools, select Axis Titles, and pick a title option for our vertical axis. OK, let's type the unit of measurement within it. We have euro in millions. Perfect. The final thing that we are missing is the chart title. Let's go again to the Chart Tools menu. There we can select a chart title, which will be above our bridge chart. Let's use the same title as the chart that's ready. EBITDA Bridge, FY17 to FY18. I'll apply the same formatting for titles that we saw for the other charts in this case study. Font Arial, font size 9. The text color is dark blue. This is how a bridge chart is created and formatted. I hope the video was useful. In case you have any doubts or questions, you can drop us a line and we'll go through them together. Thanks for watching.